All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And in today's video, I just came back from a long 3-day weekend. I took my drive home, decided to go check some things out, New World related, and we got a big update today. And so I wanted to do a video to discuss it with you guys. But yeah, we have the Eternal Frost announcement. They're announcing a bunch of new content available December 12th. We got a new expedition, new artifacts, a bunch of new things coming here in a month. And so I want to discuss this. I wanted to also discuss a couple of the artifacts that they've shown. And yeah, that's what this video is going to be. So let's just, skip the rest of the talk and let's just dive into it. So there is a developer breakdown, and I will provide a link in the description if you guys want to check that out. Major updates: Glacial Tarn Expedition, seasonal narrative, and new artifacts will all require Rise of the Angry Earth to experience. Okay, so you got to have the new DLC. New season story: Knight of the Round Table has unearthed forbidden knowledge of the ancients, seeking to subjugate humanity with the power of an eternal winter. Rally your team of silver crows and convince a surly fire mage named Daki to help track down and vanquish the night before he lays waste to Eternum. You got the new season pass stuff. Eternum turns a new season journey, new activity card, new challenges, and new rewards, including cosmetics and consumables. New expedition: Glacial Tarn. Glacial Tarn is a new level 65 expedition set in the Great Cleave. Explore a cavernous frozen complex hidden beyond the Empyrean Forge in pursuit of the Varangian Knight Sir Loth. Locate and harness the primordial magic of the Empyrean Flame to overcome enemies and obstacles imbued with ice magic and destroy Sir Loth before his power consumes all of Eternum. So yeah, new expedition. I'm excited to try this out. I actually really like the expeditions in New World. They're quite a bit of fun. And the stuff that I'm super excited for: new artifacts. Find and equip 8 new artifacts to redefine your playstyle. These powerful weapons and armor feature their own quests. Stun and shock enemies with the Boltcaster bow. So we now have the artifact bow, guys. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Boost your speed and reduce cooldowns with wing shoes. I am super excited about this. Yeah, we'll talk about this as well. And freeze and finish your enemies with the Frozen Gauntlet and more. So yeah, 8 new artifacts. Already seen what artifacts do and how interesting they are and how they create interesting builds. And these will also be doing that. And so future updates: cross-world expeditions with improved group finder. Awesome. This is great news. I love that they're doing cross-world expeditions. There's been times where I've wanted to farm gear. I wanted to do a specific expedition, and it's taken some time. It's taken some time for me to find a group. Them allowing cross-world expeditions is a big deal. I think this is a big deal. I'm not the only person that's encountered this. I know of at least one other person that has had this issue trying to find a group for these things. And if you are one of those people, let me know in the comment section. I think this is a great change. I think this is fantastic. It made a huge difference in OPR. I think it's going to make a huge difference in expeditions. Team up with players from any world within a region to overcome challenges within the depths of Eternum. The new one-click group finder will automatically assemble a role-balanced cross-world group. No more lobby management required. Excellent, excellent. Seasonal events: Winter Convergence Festival, just like last year. Icy winds and glimmering gleamites fill the air once again as Winter Convergence returns to Eternum. Visit Winter Villages to meet with Winter Wanderer and carry out his holiday quests. Players can also collect Winter tokens to earn new limited time rewards, including festive skins, emotes, housing items, and more. Winter Warrior and his legion of frigid folk are on a relentless mission to spread a forever winter across the land. Rally a party of 20 plus players to defeat this open world boss wreaking havoc throughout Great Cleave, Brightwood, Eden Grove, Ebonscale Reach, and Brimstone stands for new seasonal rewards. Legacy of Crassus. The might of Rome threatens Eternum. Hunt down General Crassus' monsters, captains, and banish the shadows of Roman tyranny. Okay. Each victory nets adventures new event-specific daily rewards. New localized VO support update. Better focus our resource on future updates. Narrative content moving forward will no longer receive localized VO support for Italian. Okay. And then the PTR. Upcoming. Public Test Realm is a limited availability server set that grants an early look at upcoming features. These preview builds are snapshots of upcoming major releases and are not final versions. You may encounter bugs, crashes, missing text, or other issues. Between our internal testing efforts and your reports, we hope to catch and resolve all serious issues before they reach live servers. Hundreds of changes have already been made, with more to come. and full release notes will be shared on release day. However, not every bug or feedback piece will be actioned on before release. Some changes need time to be investigated further and may arrive in a subsequent patch or two. To help with the feedback process, all new created PTR characters will have the opportunity to instantly level to select level ranges outfitted with appropriate gear and items. Excellent. The PTR will officially open on November 9th, 3 days from now. If you encounter a bug, exploit, or have suggestions to improve a feature or piece of content, we'd love to hear your feedback on our Discord. You can also utilize our in-game feedback tool. We'll do our best to address as much of your feedback as possible before the content update makes its way to our live servers. Your participation will help us deliver awesome content and updates in the future. Great. During this iteration of PTR, we look forward to hearing your playtest feedback on the following changes. Glacial Tarn Mutated Expedition, so the new expedition, the new artifacts, new narrative, new rewards track, balance updates, inventory improvements, Winter Convergence Festival, Legacy of Crassus. When they go through the balance updates and everything, I will also be discussing that on this channel as it pertains to PvP. I think those sorts of things are very important and they're important to talk about. So yeah, that will be here as well. PTR client access, backstory loadouts, PTR frequently asked questions. You guys can read this stuff. We don't need to talk about this anymore. So that is the announcement, which was great news. Like, we're 3 days away from the PTR for this stuff. So really exciting. And now we get to talk about the new artifacts. And so they had their video and they went through and they discussed 4 items that they really liked. And so the first one we're going to talk about is the Quickdraw Gloves. You're immune to damage for 0.5 seconds after you weapon swap, 12-second cooldown. Now, 100% immunity is pretty damn strong. This is one of those things where it's severely outnumbered. A half second of immunity can combine with some interesting things. I think, especially when you look at like Dex players, where Dex players can weapon swap and they basically break a knockdown. What is it, every 40 seconds or whatever? You can look at this as potentially stacking immunity on top of that, where you're really in trouble and basically you get a get out of jail free card. I don't know if this is good enough, but I could see a scenario like on a rapier where you already have a few skills with immunity to where you could stack a few of these things and really like stack the I'm not gonna die aspect of it, kind of like the way Hatchet was. Not exactly, Hatchet would lasted longer, but I could see situations in very specific niche scenarios to where this might be okay. This seems like the weakest of the 4 that they showed though. So that's my perspective. Boltcaster, electrified, 99% damage converted to lightning, and lightning damage is increased by 20% for both weapons. So you get a 20% boost to damage with running this bow, and it also runs lightning, which is one of the least mitigated types of damage in the game. No more. People will be running lightning mitigation after seeing this bow. This bow is, this bow is going to be kind of filthy. If you're not built in, I feel like if you're not going to be built in for lightning mitigation, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Also, what this has on top of it is they don't show it on this, but in the video they state that if the opponent is at full health, this also creates a knockdown. And so you can also see situations to where you could do a full health knockdown and you could go knockdown, empowered explosive arrow to guarantee that landing, and then wind up an armor penetration shot. And so you literally have empowered explosive arrow followed that with lined up with a knockdown as well. Seems like a lot of damage on top of all of your damage getting switched to a resource that's, like I said, not being mitigated. So that's pretty filthy. Pretty filthy. And so we'll have to see how it gets adjusted over time, but yeah, that's definitely going to be a must-have for a lot of bow builds. Gladiator, they talked about this as well. It's a round shield. Jagged spikes. When you're hit in melee, inflict bleed on your attacker, dealing 10% weapon damage for 10 seconds with a 3-second cooldown. So can you stack this multiple times? So if you're constantly getting beat upon, can you stack multiple bleeds? So can you have 3 different stacks of bleeds? That would be my question, because if somebody's just beating on you and you're just blocking these incoming attacks, 10% weapon damage for 10 seconds, that one's ticking down with a 3-second cooldown. Does it proc again on the same person? That would be my question. This also looks like it's stacked with the Butcher one-handed sword, which has bloodletting on it. So the one-handed sword, the Butcher, it has its own specialty bleed on it, plus it has bloodletting. And so I can see people running the Butcher plus Gladiator, stacking both these things for the dot effects. This is more of the defensive aspect of the shield of this, whereas the Butcher is more of the offensive, but both of them coincide very well together to create just some silly fucking dots for sword and shield builds. So this will be fun to test. This will be a lot of fun to test, in my opinion. And then we have the Vengeance Lifestaff. When you successfully heal, gain 1% damage for 10 seconds, stacks to 20. I'm not gonna lie, like a few patches ago, I was looking at it like a back bar resto staff, like kind of a hybrid build. This was at the point in time when Greatsword was extremely powerful, and people were still able to get damage by running Lifestaff back bar. They were able to get a ton of healing, and then they ran Greatsword front bar, and they were able to have damage because they were running Greatsword. The fact that this can give you up to 20% more damage, I'm assuming the way a lot of these weapons work is each time you heal, you refresh the 10 second, the 10 second cooldown. So if you're in a fight, you're going to have 1% more damage for 10 seconds. And then the minute you heal again, you run a hot, and the hot heals you again, 2%, and then it resets to 10 seconds. So in a long fight, you eventually should get 20% more damage. And so 20% more damage on your other weapon sounds like a lot to me. It really does. And so I could see situations to where, because it's giving 20%, I could see people running. I'm going to try. I'll be honest, I'm definitely going to try and do this, where I can potentially run a back bar Lifestaff. And although my attributes will be kind of funky, mixing and matching attributes to match damage, the fact that I can offset that by having this give me 20% more damage, yeah, I'm not going to be the hardest hitting damage build in the game, but if I have enough and I have that kind of healing, it could be really valuable. It could be really, really valuable, and it's definitely worth looking at. It's definitely worth testing, in my opinion. And yeah, this type of thing might be one of the stronger things in the game if it works the way I think it might. And so we'll have to see. We'll have to test. I am not sure. I'm not sure. And so those are the 4 that they've shown us. But they also, like I showed you in the previous link, they also discussed the winged shoes. Boost your speed and reduce cooldowns with the winged shoes. Now, I love my Tumbler feet wraps. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're fantastic for good reason. Like the fact that you get Fortify, Empower, and a heal on top of it with a 1-second cooldown. It is a great artifact. But the problem I have with the current build that I'm running, and I'm doing a video on this later this week, the problem I've had is that sometimes when I'm dishing out damage to my opponent, and it's a good fight and everything, if I get them to low health, there are some builds that can get away from me, and I don't have enough speed to close the distance to finish them. And so even if I'm winning the fight, some fights drag on longer than they should because some builds can just get away a little bit better than I can close the distance. And so I've been looking to add more speed to my specific build to stop that from happening. And now speed, if you're playing solo, as you guys know, speed is fantastic for solo play or small scale play, allowing you to get the distance, allowing you to line of sight a little bit more. These things are valuable. And so I can really see a scenario where winged shoes could replace Tumbler feet wraps for me in OPRs. Maybe in arenas, maybe I still keep the tumblers because the tumblers are fantastic in that small group situation. But in OPR, where I'm really trying to either chase people down after I've almost killed them and they're trying to get away, or if I'm trying to get away myself from the hordes, reducing cooldowns and having speed on the same specific artifact sounds really, really nice. And that is definitely something that is worth testing and comparing. And so those things are awesome. I don't know exactly what the Frozen Gauntlet is going to be. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, the wing shoes sounds awesome. So 5 of the 8 artifacts sound pretty damn good to me. But that's just my opinion. I'm just one guy with an opinion and a YouTube channel. And so I want your guys' opinion as well. Let me know in the comment section what you think about these artifacts. Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? What do you want to see yourself out of maybe the Ice Gauntlet? Do you have any ideas what the other 2 could be? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.